Weirdmageddon Part 2, Escape from Reality. So, before I talk about the episode, I have to bring up something that I neglected to mention in the last video. That was the new intro to the show. So, when Bill took over, they changed the intro to the show to reflect the craziness that went on. And they replaced all the typical characters that were in the intro, you know, Grunkle Stan and the twins, etc., with all the weird characters that came through the portal. And it was really cool, really well done too, especially the part where in the original intro you see Dipper like exploring a cave and he turns around, he sees a skeleton and he freaks out. In the new intro, one of the characters, I forget which character it is, but one of the characters is doing the same thing, exploring a cage, and he turns around and he sees the skeleton, and it's the skeleton of Dipper. So that was really weird and creepy. So yeah, there you go. I talked about the intro, alright? I liked it. It was really cool. Very, very well done. Very weird. Just perfectly fits the show. So, Weirdmageddon Part 2. God, how long ago was the other one? Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, by the way, I know there have been announcements about the series and the next episode, but I will get to that at the end of the video, so just hold your horses. Alright, so the episode opens with Dipper, Seuss, and Wendy going into the bubble where Mabel's being imprisoned for some reason, and they wind up in this crazy but really bright and colorful and friendly world. It's kind of like the opposite of what's going on the outside. Although, even though it's cute and adorable, there is a dark undertone to it, but we'll get to that in a second. So they, and it's basically it's what probably the inside of Mabel's head looks like. Just crazy, cute characters going everywhere. In fact, some of them we've seen before, like Yoshima, the flying dolphin with the rainbows and the fists. Hand fist. Well, I don't even know how to properly describe the thing. It has 4 arms that go out in all directions, and they each have a face on it, and they shoot rainbows, and he flies to the sky. God, man, oh boy. All right. So anyway, yeah, you see, like several times is there too. Zyler and Kraz, the two guys from the. I call them the Gem Boys because they're from some movie or something that looks like it's the male version of Gem and the Holograms. So they're going through this world, they're trying to find Mabel, and they find Mabel, and it turns out that she's not in trouble. She created this world, and she wants to stay there because it's fun, and everything's nice, and you get whatever you want, and she created it because she was depressed after Dipper said that he was going to go with Ford. So she just created a world where she can stay and everything is happy and everything is the way she wants it. So they're trying to convince her that we gotta get out of here, we gotta go stop Bill, we gotta find Grunkle Stan, etc. So she doesn't want to go, and then Seuss and Wendy sort of give in to the temptations of that world. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot to mention this. So the episode opened actually with Bill and all his goofy, weird friends making a throne out of the petrified bodies of the residents of Gravity Falls. God, this show is so fucked up sometimes. Anyway, so he's gonna we're gonna spread our weirdness across the world. So he says, everyone, go to the corners of the earth and spread the weirdness. So they see them flying off, and then suddenly they all hit something, and it seems that there's a giant bubble around Gravity Falls, a force field that's keeping everything in, which is interesting considering how all-powerful Bill is supposed to be. Apparently there's something that is blocking him. I'll get to theories about that at the end of the recap. So anyway, Dipper's by himself, trying to figure out how to get out of here, and then Wendy shows up and is like, you know, I think you're right about this world, it's kind of crazy, and then she starts going into, like, you know, you're the smartest, nicest guy I've ever met, too bad you're not my age, hey, since you're here, you can make yourself my age, and we can be together, and that's when I was like, yeah, it's a trap. So, she's like, come with me, Dipper, and she's like, no! And then Wendy, or rather the image of Wendy, turns into like maggots and just melts away, and then like suddenly things like start getting scary and weird. So Dipper goes, we need to find a way to get back to reality, and apparently saying getting back to reality is against the one rule of that world. So he has to go to court and he has to defend reality versus fantasy, and if he wins, he has to Mabel gets to leave, but if he loses, they all have to stay there. So they go into this whole thing about how you know, bad things happen. Mabel, they go through their memories and they talk about how Dipper didn't get any Valentines when Valentines came around in school, and I can relate, buddy. But really, the one that really got me was they flash back to picture day, and Mabel was getting ready for take her pictures, and then some little bitch comes along and puts gum in her hair. If you have ever put gum in a person's hair, there's a special place in hell reserved just for you, because that is a horrible thing to do to a person. And I know, because it happened to me once in school, and yeah, as you can see, I have pretty thick hair, so you can imagine what it was like to get the gum out of the hair. I had a nice bald spot for a couple weeks, so thanks to whoever did that. I swear to God, if I do find out who you are, I'm gonna find you. And yes, I'm still mad about that. Jesus Christ. Don't ever do that to a person. That's a horrible, horrible thing to do. So, but anyway, they show all these bad things, and they're saying, you know, here we have everything we want, and, you know, you go out there and it's all this stuff, and it crushes your dreams and everything. And then Dipper's defense was, you know, things get bad, but we face it together. And we stuck together through the bad times, and we made it through. And it was like a really heartfelt, emotional speech. It was really well done too. So they finally convince Mabel that they have to go, and then suddenly oh, by the way, God, so many. I love the imagination in this show. When they met Mabel, they ran into. She was saying how she made everything better here. She even made a better version of Dipper called Dippy Fresh, or so I think that was named Dippy Fresh. And he was just like, they designed him as this like manufactured '90s thing that some executives came up with. Like, we need to appeal to the youth, so give them sunglasses and make them ride skateboards. And he even talk like that too. It's like. In fact, a friend of mine on Twitter pointed out that he looked like Kid Vid from the Burger King Kids Club. If anybody remembers the Burger King, look it up if you don't know what it is. Burger King Kids Club had this character who was like, he had these sunglasses that looked a lot like Dippy Fresh's glasses. He even had like almost the same color scheme too, and he had the hat, and he was all cool and everything. Yeah, you can see him against the Burger King logo, like, yeah. He mentioned that, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh God, it is him. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where they got the inspiration for Dippy Fresh. He was all cool. So anyway, they convince Mabel to come back, they hug, and then suddenly the whole world goes to hell. Just everything that was cute and adorable turns into a demon and just chases them out of the bubble, and they make it out. And then they see the town's deserted, so they try to go back to the Mystery Shack, and it led to probably one of the best lines in the whole show. They reach the shack, and they're like, "It's in shambles, just like we left it." So they go in, and they hear noises, and they're about to go in and, you know, attack, and they find out it's Grunkle Stan, along with like a bunch of other characters. Like I gotta go back and look at it again. I think McGucket was there, the woodpecker guy was there, the gnomes were there, one of the Manitors was there, Multi-Bear was there as well. I think Grenda and Pacifica were there as well. There might have been other people. I have to go back and watch it again anyway. So that's where the episode leaves off. Well, it doesn't leave off. they reunite with Grunkle Stan, and then during the end credit sequence, there is you see Zane and whatever the frig they're in, the Gem Boys. The Gem Boys survived the bubble, and I guess they're real now. And they had this moment of they were looking out into the town. They quoted some philosopher, and then they were like, "That's totally rad" or something. Like that was a very weird way to end this episode. But then again, this is a very weird episode from a very weird show, so I guess it's appropriate. So anyway, that was the episode. Really great episode. I loved. One of the things I admire most about the show is the imagination, and especially when Mabel starts creating things, because she, I think I've said it before, she has some of the strangest things I've ever seen just come out of her head, like the Yoshima and the puppies from the candy coma, whatever the hell, whatever happened to her. Then there was my favorite was probably the Centaur Tar. Is basically two horse bodies like on top of each other in this weird like it's so strange. You've probably seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. So oh man, my neck hurts. I've been at work all day. So this is a really good episode. I love that they rekindled the bond between Dipper and Mabel, and even she said, you know, if you want to go with Ford, I won't stand in your way. And Dipper was like, no, there's no way. I want to watch you grow up all awkwardly, like. Yeah, really great episode. Let's see, was there anything else that was worth mentioning? I did find it funny, like in the when each of when Wendy and Seuss were being tempted by the world, Wendy went off with her friends to go cause mischief, and Seuss was like, I'm gonna stay by you, dude. And then and then suddenly this big dude comes through the door, and it's supposed to be Seuss's dad, but Seuss never has seen his dad, so he kind of imagined him as like a Mexican wrestler. So it was funny because when Seuss said, I'm gonna stay with you, dude, there's nothing here that I need, and I knew right away they were gonna go there. I'm kind of hoping they don't touch on it again. I mean, this was fine or whatever. So so there's also the bubble now. Oh yeah, I think the unicorn from the last Mabelcorn was at the shack too, which brings me to the bubble. Now, the bubble kind of resembled the force field that they put around the Mystery Shack with the unicorn hair. So I'm thinking either A, the unicorns took care of that, and that's where the bubble came from, or B, Ford had extra unicorn hair and he actually was able to surround the town just in case something bad really happened. So that was like his secret contingency plan. I'm willing to believe that one a little bit more, but I don't know. It's it could go either way, honestly. I do find it interesting that even Bill, the supposedly all-powerful Bill, can't penetrate a force field or something. So let's see, what else is there? What else is there to talk about in this episode? We never saw what happened to little Gideon. Kind of got me worried. They mentioned him. They said that he let the Pines family go, but we didn't see him at all in this episode. So who knows? I think one of the biker guys was at the Mystery Shack as well. Again, I gotta rewatch that and see who was all in that shot. I just barely remember. I've seen it twice, and honestly, it goes by so quick that I kind of forget. But let's see what else to talk about. I found out that the images that show at the end of every episode, they form like a giant poster of the two stands, I think, just with images of them. So that was kind of interesting to find out about. Let's see. I want to make sure I cover everything because I do tend to leave things out when I do these on the fly. I think I got everything. But yeah. Anyway, it's a really good episode. A couple of good laughs in it. Great visuals as always. Can't wait to see how this all wraps up, which brings me to when the next episode airs. We don't have a definitive date, but we did have it confirmed that it's not airing this year. It's going to air 2016, and we just have the year. We don't have a date. Now, I'm hoping they don't really drag it out any more than it's already had. I heard, in fact, the finale is going to be a 1-hour special, which would be great. But I can't imagine them taking this any further than it's already had. I'm hoping January, February at the latest. Especially when you end with, when you're in the middle of something huge like this, you don't want to spend too much time. And I've actually been hearing rumors as to why. Well, I've been hearing several reasons as to why the show's been dragging on for so long. It's because Alex Hirsch works on the show pretty much nonstop. He has writing credits in every episode but one, at least one that I know of, and that's Dipper vs. Manliness. But yeah, you can see his name on the writing credits in every other episode. And supposedly that was holding things up. I also heard rumors that Disney was purposefully prolonging the show because they wanted him to continue it more. I don't have a credible source for that, but it does bring us to our next thing. Yes, Alex Hirsch has confirmed that this is the end of Gravity Falls. The finale, whenever they decide to air it, is going to be the end. I'm not too upset for it, and I'll tell you for a couple of reasons. One, I actually had prior notice of this. I had prior knowledge that the series was coming to an end. About 2 months ago, I was at an animation conference in Miami. Great conference, by the way. Definitely worth checking out if you can afford it. Tickets are a little pricey. And someone who was speaking there's a lot of like executives from different, Cartoon Network, Disney, legal people, animators, things like that speak there. And one of them, I won't say who their name is because I don't want to get them in trouble, who knew Alex Hirsch personally, said that yes, the show is definitely ending. And I guess it makes sense. I mean, as much as I feel like the show can explore more, it would end on a huge high note. And that's a good thing, because even Alex Hirsch said that a lot of shows live past their prime and they lose their spark, and you really don't want that happening to your show. And I know Hirsch has a lot of artistic integrity, because he wanted to do this show the way he wanted, specifically the way he wanted. He was constantly fighting the network and other entities trying to prevent him from doing it this way. And I have more respect for him than I ever had after finding out about that. But yeah, again, the other reason is because I don't want the show to drag on. I think they told a very solid, complete story, and it should, if you're gonna end on a high note, then end on a high note. I did find out that they're gonna release a book. I think like a journal, like a fan journal. I know there was another book that came out, Dipper and Mabel's Guide to the Weird or something. I have it over there on my shelf actually because I'm a huge fan of the show. It's really funny to read too. So if you get a chance, check it out. But yeah, I would like to go more into how I felt about the show overall. When the time comes, when the show ends proper, I'll talk about that. But yeah, I know a lot of people are upset about that, but a lot of people are angry at Disney for this. And honestly, like I said, if what I heard was true, it seems that Disney doesn't want the show to end, but it's more of a choice by Alex Hirsch to end it. That's I guess where the rumor came from, that Disney's the one prolonging everything because they want him to continue. And again, I feel like the show could continue, but I don't know. It'll be hard to top what's going on right now. So I'm babbling and I'm probably repeating myself a lot. So I think that's about it. Again, great episode. Hopefully the next one won't take so long to come out. I know we've been kind of dealing with this a lot all year long, where there's like months in between episodes. So hopefully they won't make us wait too long. Other than that, I guess that's all I have for Weirdmageddon Part 2, Escape from Reality, Escape from New York, Escape from LA. Should have gotten Snake Plissken in there. See him tear some ass against all the creatures of the weird dimension. Now I'm definitely babbling. Alright, so let me know what you think of this episode, and I'll see you guys later.